in a time when people are feeling a great deal of anxiety and fear and reservations about the future, at a time when people are going to work and don't know whether or not they will have a job when they get off, and not necessarily because of their performance, but because of what's happening in the economy. At a time when there are challenges, more so than ever before, in personal relationships. We look at what's happening on the crime level and what's happening with our youth. That many times I'm sure that we've all taken time just to stop and reflect. Many times when we hear what's happening in the news or read the newspapers, where's all of this leading to? What's going on here? And so I think that now more than ever, we must begin to look at what are the things that we can do that would put us on some firm footing in life, that will enable us to do some things and use some powers that we have, that many of us go through life never ever discovering that we have those things going for us. And part of that, I believe, is knowing what it is your life work. What is it that gives your life a sense of meaning and purpose? Because once you find that, it puts you in your power place. See, if you know what your life work is, I encourage you to start working on it. If you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it. And if you don't know what it is that you showed up to do, if you don't know why you're here, I encourage you to find out what your purpose is here. What is the meaning of your life? What will be different? Have you ever asked yourself that question? I've done that. I remember coming from a friend of mine's funeral, and I was reflecting on how much time I had left. And I went for a walk in a park thinking about this guy whose life was so promising. And I mean, he wasn't an old guy. He was quite young, in fact. And I thought about all of the things that he said he was going to do, and he never got a chance to do those things. And I started thinking about my own life and how much time I had left to do the things that I would like to do. And at that time, I wasn't sure what my life purpose was, what my life's work was. I wasn't sure about it at that time. And I thought about it quite a lot. I had some idea, but I wasn't convinced. And I don't think I felt worthy. I didn't believe that it could be me to do this kind of work that I'm doing right now. And I say to you that if you begin to take a conscious effort to find out what it is that you're supposed to do, I say that it can literally save your life. I said that it can literally save your life. So I say that your life is worth finding what it is that you're supposed to do. And I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying find it and do just a little bit of it. When I wanted to become involved in speaking, I started just learning quotes, listening to other people's tapes, going to seminars, going to workshops, asking other people to help me. Just start working at it just a little bit, but do find out what your work is and hold on to it, and don't let your dream go. Don't let it go. See, and here's something else I want you to begin to look at. Why is it that most people don't pursue their dreams or don't do better than what they're doing if they're capable of doing it? I think that many of us don't go the next step because we don't know what to do yet. And I say that the reason that we don't even explore the possibility of what to do is because subconsciously we don't believe that it can happen for us, and we don't believe that we deserve it. So here's what I'm suggesting. How much time do you spend working on you? How much time do you spend every day working on your dream? In the last 90 days, how many books have you read? In the last year, what new skill or knowledge have you acquired? What kind of investment have you made in you? So I'm saying that as you begin to look at where you want to go, if you want to make it today, and things are changing so fast you have to literally run to stand still, I'm saying that you've got to make some conscious effort to begin to work to develop you.
Hey, it's Tony again. Listen, I just want to follow up and make sure you keep that momentum going in your life. And one thing that I thought might be helpful to you is Well, when people come to the seminar, they're excited because they know it's coming, you know, or they might be a little concerned as well, but it kind of gets you in state, because when you know there's something coming in the future and you're moving towards it, you start to anticipate it. And what I try to explain to people is that everybody in the world has goals, whether they know it or not. Some people's goals are to get through the lousy day, you know. Some people's goals is to change the world. Some people's goals or dreams are to lose some weight. Some people want to make money. Ultimately, you know, people's goals you would think would be to have a life that was meaningful, that where you felt alive and passionate and excited, and where your life mattered and you're able to touch other people. But if you don't consciously select your goals, then you can find yourself falling into the trap of making a living instead of designing a life. And that's the majority of people in the world today. The people that are lucky enough to have a job, to the people that don't, they're just trying to get through the day. And so my suggestion to you is to keep the momentum going. If you haven't already done it, if you remember, we talked on the third day about this idea of these 3 pillars of lasting change or lasting improvement, 3 pillars of success. You said the first key was get focused. Get clear about what you really want. You know, what do you really want? Why do you want it? Make it so compelling that inside you're so excited to move forward. And I want to remind you of that, because there's an area of your life that probably you're doing really well in. And we talked on the third day of the UPW seminar, we talked about this idea of there's an area you kind of suck in, an area that you're not happy with and you really want to change. And you might have found yourself getting home and then dealing with all the demands of your daily life and getting overwhelmed. And so what I want to say to you is, don't let that story that I got to do that later drip in. Pick one area of your life, either an area you're strong in, you want to take it to another level, take it higher, better, deeper, richer, more alive, more fun, more joyous, whatever it is, stronger. Or take an area that you haven't doing well and decide, over the next 90 days, I'm going to make major progress in this area of my life. 90 days, and set a 90-day goal of something that's going to excite you in that area. 90 days that you're going to make this thing happen, because your goals affect you, whatever they are. And if you don't set a conscious goal, you're going to be affected by the room around you. It's got to be a goal that moves you. It's got to be something that'll get you going. So what's an area of your life that you want to take to the next level? What's an area of your life you want to master, not dabble in? Because, you know, people say, oh, I want this, I want to make a lot more money, or I want to start a business, or I want to lose weight, or I want to have a great relationship. But then they dabble. They try something a time or two, and if it doesn't work out well, they quit. And you look at the people that are most successful on the face of the earth, and other people that, you know, got turned down by, you know, 102 banks, Walt Disney, right? Or, you know, people that went out there and they sold everything that they had to start a business, and it didn't work out so well in the beginning, but they eventually found the way. The people that succeed are the people that didn't just have a dream or goal. They had a dream or goal that was so exciting to them, so obsessive to them, that when nothing worked, they kept on going. So figure out what's going to excite you like that. What's one goal, one focus? If you want to go 3, do 3 max. What's 1, 2, or 3 things that you're going to accomplish in the next 90 days that are going to excite the hell out of you? And then number 2, go get the best tools. Find a role model. Find somebody who knows that area, has mastered that area, and give you the insights and show you. Not somebody's going to talk a good game, somebody who's done it. I don't care if it's investing in real estate, then go find the person who's the best in that stuff. If it's changing your body, you got to go do those things that absolutely work. Not some local person who's going to pump you up. Somebody's the best at what they do. And get a plan from them. You don't want to settle for what everybody else does. Look for those people that know the 2 millimeters that nobody else knows. They have the insight. They can save you decades in a few days, because they know how to get you from where you want to go. But you got to bring first the goal, the desire, and then you got to go get that expert. And maybe you'll do it through books or tapes or audios or a seminar or an event or a mentor or somebody that you know. But that's the second step. And then the third step is, if you find yourself not following through, remember it's because you have some inner conflict. Like, you know, you say, gosh, I really want to work out, but I work 16 hours, 12-hour days. I come home, and I need to be with my kids. I want to be with my kids. I got to work out and be with my kids. No, you don't. You just need a better strategy and get rid of the conflict. Maybe your strategy is, from now on, 4 days a week, you get that stroller and you go for the run with your kids, right? How powerful would it be to imprint your children that every day the bonding time with their parent is this thing called movement and exercise? And you're really getting the workout, you're really truly being with your kids, you're having a great time, you're outdoors, you're feeling alive, and you're not to pick one or the other. You know, don't buy the story that you can't do something because you don't have the time. It's a lie. You just need to get more strategic. You need to get a little smarter. You got to be a little more playful, got to be a little more fun. And if you do something like this, it doesn't just affect you. When you come back and you're in such a great physical state,
I don't think you determine what your purpose is. I think you discover what your purpose is. There's a difference. Determining indicates deciding. And I don't think you decide. I think if you go about it the right way, you discover it. Like there's some people that should be painting all day. They're great artists. I think Michelangelo was obviously a great artist, a great sculptor. I mean, that was his purpose in his life. Well, I believe my purpose is doing what I'm doing. Your purpose is why you get out of bed in the morning. Do you know why you get up? Well, most people say, well, it's to go to work. Well, that'd be a good reason to stay in bed. You know, you say, well, everybody's doing it. That'd be another reason to stay in bed. If you're ever doing what everybody's doing, you're probably going in the wrong direction. Your purpose is your reason for living. What you want to do is sit down and maybe take a pen and a pad and then ask yourself, what do I really love doing? Now, you may have to spend a while at this. You might get up an hour early every morning and go sit under a tree somewhere if you're in a nice climate, or pick a favorite chair, someplace where you're not going to be disturbed, and totally relax and say, if I could spend my life doing something, what do I really love doing? Now, since you don't ask yourself that question every day, it might take a while for this answer to come to the surface. But it comes to your consciousness. And it may take a while. You may have to do this every morning for 3 months. But it would be well invested, the time.
People ask, Brendon, how do I find my life's purpose? I'm like, gosh, I can't find a good haircut. No, it is not an easy question, but I get it on stages around the world when I'm speaking. We get it so many submissions here to the show. Brendon, talk about life's purpose. I mean, how do you find it? And first and foremost, I'm not sure that you ever find it. I'm not sure that you wander outside of your house one day and the piano of purpose falls on top of your head and suddenly you're like, oh, that's why I'm here. I think that purpose is more self-defined than just discovered suddenly one day where the sudden answer emerges upon us. I think that we have to decide what it is for ourselves, but I think that we have been given some clues. I don't pretend to know the answer to what your life's purpose is or anybody's life's purpose outside of even my own. And honestly, my own has shifted and shaped its way throughout my life to emerge into what it is today. And I'll share what I think mine might be with you. But I got mine just, I think the way everyone else gets theirs is it's through that process of just asking, what are we about? What do we want to serve and give to the world? What is it that we want to stand for? What do we find meaningful in our own lives? We can ask a series of questions that might get us closer, but we shouldn't miss the hints that are right in front of us every single day. I don't think that you have to be, operating just from a place of religion or spirituality to find that answer. And often people go to those two realms to find the answer. And I think that's vital and it is important. And I found most of my inspiration from those categories of life. But I think just as a realist looking around the world, you can observe that something is unique about the human species, about who we are, and about maybe what that might give us some indication into what life's purpose might be for many of us. And that first thing, if you look around the world and you start paying attention, you start to notice that, we're all alive. You're alive. I'm alive. If you're watching this, you're alive, right? And so maybe there's a little hint there, a hidden sort of joke that if we are alive, maybe part of life's purpose is to be fully alive. How simple is that? What if that was your day? You just say, you know what, today I'm gonna be fully alive. I'm gonna feel an incredible sense of vibrancy and joy and real zest and presence to my life today because you know what? What a gift it is that I'm still here, that I'm alive. To really fully sense an aliveness and to cultivate an aliveness in our body and in our mind and in our spirit so that we exude life to other people. You know, you want to learn how to be sexy or attractive to other people? Be alive, right? Isn't that the people that we're most attracted to? Those who are just joyous and they have something about their spirit. There's a spark there, what we call a charge. You know, there's some kind of internal charge about them that just, they stand out. But you know what? They also feel differently. By cultivating a sense of aliveness and presence in our life, life feels different. And if everyone, you talk about people's life purpose, I mean, everyone wants in some way to feel, you know, alive, alert, aware, conscious, because that's what we have, we've been given. And so I just ask, what are you doing to make yourself feel alive? You know, are you doing activities that draw out your passion? Are you exuding and giving passion to the world? Are you truly sensing the spirit and the joy and the energy of this universe that makes you animated as a human being? And maybe those aren't your things, but they are for me. I just think, what an incredible hint. We're alive, so be alive.